Retro Rob plays everything.
Hey there, real gamers and gatekeepers. Retro Rob here, and today I've got a game that I pre-ordered a while back and it never showed up. In fact, I didn't even remember it until it showed up on Amazon. I go like, hey, didn't I have that pre-ordered? I should have got it first. By the way, has that ever happened to you guys out there? Have you ever pre-ordered a game and it didn't show up until after the game was already released and people were able to pick it up at the store? What's the use of pre-ordering if you don't get it first, or at least on the first day of release? Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that down below. And if there's a game you really wanted, forgot about, and then found out it never shipped when it released, let me know about that too. I'm kind of curious, because it's happened to me more than once. Anyway, today's game is Bubble Bobble for Friends. And this game has got mixed reviews, apparently. I'm really hoping I'm going to like it because I waited a while for this one. I'm always happy to play new Bubble Bobble games. That said, there's been some hit or miss, actually. Even with Nintendo, there's been some hit and miss with the Bubble Bobble games. This is the special edition, so I'm going to do an unboxing and show you what's inside the box. But of course, we're going to start with the front. Where'd it go? What the heck? Where did the game go? Darn it, Bogart, what'd I tell you about stealing my games? The front of the box. Bubble Bobble for Friends Special Edition. Contains Bub and Bob keychains. Oh, I could give one to Darlene and I could have one. I would take the Bob one. Collectible cards and a poster. Not bad. Here is the right side of the box. Here is the left side of the box. The top of the box is low effort, as is the bottom of the box. However, it does flow on, like, to the front of the box, so fair enough. But then, like, the side lines up, you get it? It lines up here, but then doesn't line up at the bottom. Needs more work, people. Here is the Bubble Bobble handheld by My Arcade. Here is a rather rare copy of Bubble Bobble for the PlayStation. And here is Bubble Symphony for the Sega Saturn, for no adequately explained reason. And here, my friends, is the back of the box. The dragons Bub and Bob are back. Travel through 100 stages. Blow and burst billions of bubbles. Jump and pop bubbles to eliminate enemies. 4-player co-op mode. You can select skills. Bonus, original Bubble Bobble arcade game from 1986. Yay. And as mentioned before, the special edition contains Bub and Bob keychains, collectible cards, and a poster. Alright, let's bust it open and take a look. Special edition. Sealed in an extra box. Oh, there we go. You know, it's funny. I thought that these were going to be like those enamel pins, but I didn't look closely because they are kind of a rubberized thing. Here, I'm going to zoom in on these. There we go. And thank you ever so much for not using plastic on this. These are metal. These guys are rubber though, they'll bend. So they're probably fairly durable. And here's the other one. I'll keep that one in his pack. Not too bad. And we'll come back to that. There's the 4 cards. There's a Bob card. There's a Bub card. There's a Peb card. And a Pab card. And there's all 4 of them together. That's what the back of the card looks like. There's also a poster in here. It of course is folded for life. Let's open it up and take a look. And there's the poster. It's a very nice poster, but of course it has those perma creases that I never like in these. It's like they never come out. By the way, if anybody has a way of getting those creases out, let me know. But so far, I have not been successful. So do you think they put a manual or anything in here? Let's find out. I mean, there's going to be a game, obviously, but... wait a minute. There might actually be something of interest in here. But it's stuck to the top. That's kind of weird. Let's get a little more light on the subject, shall we? There, much better. No, there isn't anything in here. Just the game. And, of course, there's some inside art. You know, I mean, a lot came with it, but I can't help but be a little bit disappointed. Well, let's put it in and play it.
Thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, or I will go Skynet on your butt.
And here we are at the main menu of Bubble Bobble for Friends. On the far left, you can see the original Bubble Bobble arcade. We'll do just a little bit of that a little bit later. And on the right side, we have all the different worlds of Bubble Bobble. You unlock them one at a time as you progress through. I'm going to use one of the more variety-filled levels so you can get an idea of the game at probably its best point as far as I'm concerned. This game is better played with friends, as it probably suggests. So single player probably isn't the greatest way to play it. I did try it with my wife for a little bit, and it was more fun that way. Here we have power-ups. You use power-ups by hitting this trigger right here. And I'm going to use the Thunder Bubble just for fun. Just for giggles. And we'll just sit on this black screen for a while. That should be a lot of fun, huh? This game is kind of hard to play while talking. So I'm probably going to get kind of beat up here. Sorry about that. Okay, so one of my first real problems with the game is the way the bubbles, basically the way the bubbles group themselves. It makes it a little bit more difficult to line up a whole lot of bubbles at one time and pop them. And that can make the game kind of unnecessarily frustrating. They don't tend to just all float up to the top like they do in the original Bubble Bobble. They tend to kind of float all over the place. And that, to me, is kind of frustrating. I also do a lot of accidental popping of bubbles. And there's one other thing, and that is the duration that your bubbles last. When you capture an enemy in a bubble, it doesn't last long enough to allow you to line up other ones, so it makes it kind of unnecessarily difficult. It's not timed the same as the original Bubble Bobble, and I think they probably shouldn't have changed anything about that. They probably should have kept the timing about the same. And they didn't. Alright, so... these are my most hated nemesis in the game. These are probably the hardest things to kill. You should always try and get those extras. Oh, they're annoying. So, this guy, I'm just gonna pop... see what I mean? I was gonna just pop him, but... I was too late. Again, pretty frustrating level. Let's see, what are my other... I'm sorry, this is gonna be a litany of complaints, basically, and I'm really sorry about that, because I try to not do that. So let's mention something positive. I think graphically, the game is attractive. I think the pick-em-ups that they have, the kind of pickups that they have, or collectibles, are nice looking. And I like them that they're very large. I'm gonna point out that I feel that there's not enough variation, I think. And notice how it's all like fruits that you pick up. So they kind of, I don't know, they kind of change the feel of Bubble Bobble by changing the collect-em-ups. It's not as, I don't know, it's not as enjoyable in a way. Having almost everything is fruits that I've picked up. And it might be that they've changed the mechanics for what the counters do. So in the original Bubble Bobble, there's these counters. So if you do a certain action so many times, it changes what kind of pickups you get at the end of the round. So say like I, shot like 100 bubbles in one round. There's this ducking, which is kind of cool. I like that they added that. So say I, like threw 100 bubbles in a round. That would cause like all your pickups at the end to become like candy bars or something. That's how it works. And on here, I haven't seen that kind of mechanic. And in the original Bubble Bobble, there were layers upon layers of these mechanics. And it doesn't seem to have those layers. As you can see, I'm getting a lot of the same things. And that's kind of takes some of the joy out of the game, I think. Come on, pick them up. I mean, that's satisfying, though, but not as satisfying as all the different stuff, especially if you look at something like Parasol Stars, which had, like, just all sorts of crazy pickups and all sorts of mechanics. This is kind of a step backwards from that. Okay, another thing. Bubble jumping is automatic. So if you want to hop on bubbles, you can just stand on top, which I guess makes the game a little bit more casual. But to me, it kind of sucks some of the fun out of it, There was some skill to bubble hopping before. Now most of the skill is trying to... There we go. Get the bubbles all together, but that's kind of an arbitrary process. Not arbitrarily hard process. It's not arbitrary. You can see where the bubbles are going to go. Based on these little, if you look above me, you see how there's like air direction. That's how you figure out where the bubbles are going to go. So, it's not like they cheated. They tell you where things are going to go. So you could probably time it, but it's not a mechanic that I particularly enjoy. Ooh. Oh, man, it's going to take me a while to get up there. Come on. Give me some of those. These are like the happiest thing. Yeah, and sometimes they put them too far away, and the pickup's too far away, and you don't get to pick them all up, and that's kind of annoying. The original Bubble Bobble did that too, though. All right, so here's a level. They've got characters that just kind of stand there, like this guy, and that's I don't know why that annoys me, but it just does. Now, Parasol Stars did have them, but they were kind of like huge things that did that. Again, I'm really sorry that this is... I know it sounds more like I'm just like ragging on the game, but it's not terrible at all. And I do enjoy playing it. It's just you can kind of see the potential that the game had. Just kind of leaking out all over the place. Here we go. And we'll do that. And now we'll kill this guy. One of the things that they did add to the game is there's a little bit more of a puzzly element to the levels, and I don't think that's bad necessarily. For the most part, it's pretty fair about it. Other than the fact that I didn't see those, but it's pretty fair about it. So there's that. If I press down, I'll pop the bubble that's below me, which is pretty useful. Oh, darn. Alright, so we will use this. Come on. And if you notice, another annoyance of mine, the bubbles went right through that guy that I shot. What? The bubbles went right through that guy that I shot. And that is so annoying, especially on a game like this where it matters, you know what I mean? You can't just... Again. There, got him. Come on. Bumped into him. Great. Just... I don't really mind frustrating games. I just feel like the frustration in this game is kind of arbitrary. It's just kind of like... Ugh. So, this guy's kind of out of the range. Wait, let's try one of my special bubbles. Maybe I can... Yeah, great. That's not going to work. I can try and get him. I don't know. Having a hard time explaining what it is that kind of irks me here. But it does irk me. Oh, there we go. I'm not even going to try and get a chain on this level. Okay, so that's going down, that's going up, so I should probably come in from the back here. Come on. Come on! There we go. And at least we can get... Wait. If I wait... I could have got 2 at a time, which would have been nice. Chains are always better, obviously. And that goes down, so let's go this way. Didn't collect him. That is pretty sad. Yay! They're gonna die. Again, I found in this game, just because of how kind of windy it is, it's better for me just to pop them, like, as I get them, because otherwise they're just gonna get me. Come on. I gotta get that one. Oh, I can't. I gotta go up here. Nope. And you're dead. No good chains there. So I'm gonna end up getting the same stuff. I get a lot of oranges in this game. But I like those kind of big ones with the little slice rolling around. That's kind of cool. Come on. Oh! I did notice them. See, now that's fair, you know? I just didn't notice them up there. I don't have a problem with that. Oh, alright, just let them... And it's just gonna take too long. So, again... I'm just gonna end up popping some of these one at a time. Which... If I had more time... I would definitely do bigger chains. There we go. Ooh. Yay! Got them all. That's pretty satisfying right there. Alright, here we go with the stage boss. And we'll see if I can beat him or not. There... So far, at least, in the first 4 levels of this, or first 4 worlds, the bosses are all pretty much the same thing. I mean, they don't look the same, but basically all you do is, you know, you just shoot them with these bubbles, you know? Oh, crap. I fell off. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for putting me right there at the beginning. I really appreciate that. Silly game. And let's just throw some bubbles and come up here. There we go. And we'll just bubble them up. Frustrating. Yeah, we'll continue. Apparently if I mess up enough, it'll give me invincibility. Alright, I played that pretty bad. It's bomby. There we go. Made it. Whew. Now, see, ideally, what would happen here with Bommy is the bomb would go off on him, and then I would run in really fast and shoot him a few times. Which, you know, makes sense, right? But again, I died in the explosion even though I was on the edge. But again, he recovers so fast that I don't really get time to do that. Kind of frustrating. Come on. Move it, Bommy. Apparently, even when they're not exploded, the bombs are deadly. And I'm going to have a hard time surviving that. You can see kind of how frustrating it gets. And these bubbles are moving too dang slow. There we go. And apparently, being caught on the edge of the explosion kills me. So there's no real good save point. I've got to drop down all the way to the side. So I'm going to die again here. And we'll try it again. I've already beaten him, so it's not like he's impossible for me to beat. It's just kind of annoying. Come on. And I don't remember any of the bosses in the original Bubble Bobble, which I beat a number of times, being this frustrating for me. And I don't know specifically what it is that's frustrating, but there's almost something, I don't know. It's kind of cheaty about it. You don't have enough maneuverability to truly enjoy the boss fights. See, because of a mistake I made 30 seconds ago, I'm gonna die now. You know? Come on, blow up. He's in the center. Now I can stay off to the side. I should be alright. There we go. And now I can hit him a few times and then I die! Because I got too dang close to him. Great. Now I'm gonna jump up and get hit again and die. And notice how I spawn like right on top of right on top of one of these about to burst. There. And we'll just stay up here until he gets to the center, and then I will jump off. There we go. And I made it, and now I'm gonna pop him quite a bit. There we go. And that seems to be the pattern that'll kill him. Oh, come on. Alright, let's try it again. Again, you know, there's a thin line between frustrating, you know, and you know, difficult and just plain frustrating. And I think that this boss battle kind of crosses that line a little bit. There we go. Now I just wait. And he'll walk back in a minute. There we go. Run off to the side. I think I got the pattern on this now. Come on. There we go. This noise is making me want to snap, too. Here we go. To the corner. And then run back towards him. And we should be able to wash, rinse, and repeat this. Why did he die? Come on. Oh, I made a mistake. I held on too long. Sorry. That happens. Alright, come on. Oh, see, some of them tip over. I see. Yeah, that's great. Got lucky there. There we go. One more. And hopefully I'll survive it. I survived that. And now he's down, so I'll come up here. Oh no! Why did my bubble pop? That's terrible. There we go. Jump away and come back. Come back swinging. There we go. And he's dead. And now I will get a very satisfying treat. Look at the size of that. See, now that is all right. I like that. That's okay. And there we go. I did not do very well. Let's wrap this up. As promised, here's the original arcade Bubble Bobble. I'm going to add some credits with my left bumper and start with my right. Here we go. The original land of Bub and Bob. All right, and I'm going to start right up with already, you know, we've got more variety in the original Bubble Bobble, which, you know, is like an 8-bit game. There's just, you know, maybe not in the enemies so much, but there's a variety in these pickups. And I don't have to worry about starting the level with the right pickup. I just pick it up on the go, and you can defeat the level pretty handily and fairly with just your regular bubbles. And if you can't, the good news is they will add them for you. You know, they'll give you a level like, I think it's the next one or the one following. There is a lot more fruits than I remember, so I remembered that wrong. But anyway, no, it's not this level. I think it's the next one after this, or possibly. But it would give you the pickup that you need to finish the level. There we go. Black background, 8-bit. Look at all the variety, though. The level variety that's in this game. It's truly just a masterpiece of a game. All right, see? Could have used that water. There's a pickup for it. This was actually worth the price of admission alone to play this game on the Switch. So, it's not money wasted. Ugh, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I messed that up too. Don't you go down. So I'm missing a E, X, and another E. Jump. Now, you see how I could trust that my bubbles would actually defeat the enemy that's next to me, so I can get a lot closer to them to bubbleize them? That is a big deal. Oh, I messed up my timing because I was talking smack. But anyway, that's a big difference between this, the original Bubble Bobble, and Bubble Bobble for Friends. I just can't trust that that bubble is going to do what it's supposed to do, and I have to play in a different manner. You know, I can't take risks like I can in regular Bubble Bobble. I have all the time in the world to wait for him to pop. So I could have done this level way better, and I could play it a lot better if I were a more skilled player. And there we go. Oh, I missed one. That's a mistake. There we go. There we go. You get the idea. Let's wrap this thing up. All right, so what's the verdict on Bubble Bobble for Friends? It may sound like I hate the game. When I'm playing it really might sound that way, but I don't. I don't think it's an awful game, but it is not as good as the source material that it was based on, which is the original Bubble Bobble. Also, I would place it beneath games like Parasol Stars. I'd put it behind Bubble Memories. I'd put it behind Bubble Symphony, and that's the problem. All those games were made on previous gen machines, and there was so much potential to make such a great game, and they missed it in the mechanics, in the pickups, and in a whole lot of different ways. So it's really hard for me to recommend Bubble Bobble for Friends unless you want to play the original Bubble Bobble, or you get it for like $20. I'd probably be okay with it at that point, but at $40 to $50, I just can't sit there and recommend it to you in good faith. All right, I want to thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe for more. Hey, if you don't agree with me, let me know why down below. You know, I'm fine with that. You know, other people can have their own opinions on the game, but to me, it was just kind of a disappointment. All right, see you guys in a couple days. Bye.